Hello, my name is Isabel Toledo. I've done the costumes for After Midnight. And this is my husband, Ruben, actually.
I'm Ruben Toledo, and I'm artist in residence. That's my official title for the show. Well, the world of After Midnight is we were given incredible great latitude by Warren Carlyle and Scott, the producer, Scott Sanders. They just gave us a beautiful open field to not recreate a precise period, but to have this kind of collective memory of what jazz means to New York City and to the world. The idea that jazz inspires everything, the clothing, the colors, the atmosphere, from the smokiness and raspiness of a Billie Holiday to the modern, even things that came way beyond the Cotton Club, like Miles Davis, it's all in there.
Immediately when I think of taking on a project, I always think of it technically. I can't help it. That's what I do, no matter what I'm doing. But being given the opportunity to then watch Ruben take the liberty of just creating art, not based necessarily on what I'm about to do, but just to get himself inspired and put down visuals.
My job is to quickly draw and try to capture the graphically what Isabel's thinking about.
He better inspire.
And Isabel is a couturier. She's a seamstress, so she knows patterns, she knows cloth, she knows fabric, she knows how to put clothes together, she knows all the secrets that it takes to make something look incredible.
You know, the most amazing thing of working together is that we know when to let the other one take over, and when you're not feeling too confident, the other person takes over. So you never get it wrong and you never get it right. You're always just constantly feeding one another, and it's just playing.
Inspiration came from everywhere, and you can't imagine, from old movies, from music itself, that was the core, from photographs, from images, exactly, cars, traffic patterns of the city, advertisements, just the whole roly-poly that was that era. Like, after all, Isabel says fashion is what time looks like. So we wanted to capture that time as it would be dressed. This is one of the early inspirational drawings that we did before we started doing costumes, when Warren Carlyle first told us about the project.
This inspired the makeup. This was a dress that became the dress of Corrine in Bregan and Brass.
Right, for instance, the idea here was, why don't we have hair that looks like piano keys? But of course that was a little absurd, so it evolved into this idea. Isabel thought, well, let's turn this into a dress where her hem is actually made of musical piano keys. And that eventually became this very fluid dress for a dance number. Instead of such a stiff singing dress, it became a dancer's dress where the hem opens up into piano keys.
The interesting thing about the fact that it is a dance show, and it's interesting that it's mostly men, in fact, is that every suit that got tailored had to perform, had to work, had to make the dancer feel comfortable. The pants can't rip. So we really went through a really intense
trial and error.
Trial and error, yes.
Sure, I mean, everything has gussets, all the pants have extra room for kicking up in the air, and in the women's things as well. I mean, to see gowns go up in the air and then land in a beautiful split is kind of mind-boggling.
And yet, it was important for me to really be able to capture the period, make sure that it's very tailored, that it's fitting really beautifully.
Sure, the fit was super important for Isabel, the tailoring, all the details are amazing, all those mitered stripes on the back of satin, inside satin stripes on the arms. And all throughout this, they have to look dynamite, they have to look tailored, they have to look elegant as hell.
Elegant.
But my God, the clothes have to work.
For Fantasia, I wanted to do fringe, but I didn't want it to be just regular fringe.
Not just a flapper dress, but something else.
I wanted it to be more graphic, and it had another life that you didn't recognize it. So we went into doing it with rolos, which you think they're fringe, but this is a ribbon, not a ribbon, but it's a round ribbon that we cut each one and straighten them out. So every one of them is put together one by one.
They're almost like dancing spaghettis. That's what's so special about it.
That made me hungry.
Well, it's got this beautiful swing, and again, it kind of amplifies each one of her movements. Everything quivers there. Adrienne Lennox, too, was an amazing person to work with. Isabel said right away, this is a woman who cannot be caged.
Yes.
She's wild all the time, so she wanted the clothes to have this kind of aliveness that would echo beyond the clothes.
And tickle. That was where I put the feathers, all this. At the very end of this fabric is all these black little feathers that you can almost not see, but it gives you that extension of Adrienne.
Isabel wanted the finale to look like moonlight, and everything just to be luminous and almost like being lit from the moon, right? It's deco heaven. Just the way there's so many layers of ideas here, she wanted the clothing and the atmosphere to be simple yet layered with thoughts, right? Layered with ideas. So no matter where you sit at the theater, how many times you see the show, you're going to always notice something new.
When I dressed Michelle Obama, Inauguration Day, I got so much love, and this has felt just the same. Our emails tell you that.
To get all that love back, well, you feel like you're giving people a gift over and over and over again. Of course, we can't take all the credit. There's
No.
incredible talent behind us.
They do it every day.
But my God, it feels so good to be part of that collaboration. It's a big deal being on Broadway.
It's actually being able to be, it's an art form that's alive every single day. It's giving energy to people, and that's what the stage is.